Hi, this is Elijah Manor, and welcome to Mannerisms. In this video, I'm going to introduce the Create React App CLI tool, which allows you to quickly create and run a React application with no configuration. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Before we start, we need to verify what version of Node and Npm we have installed. We could do this on the command line by typing node-v and npm-v. You'll need at least Node version 6 or above on your dev machine in order for Create React App to work. Since we are using npm version 5.2 or above, we could utilize the npx package runner instead of having to install Create React App globally. So, to create our app, we'll run npx create react app playground. That'll create a new playground React app and start to install all the dependencies that it needs to run, build, etc. Now let's change directories to our new app, and from there we could execute npm run in order to see all the scripts that are available to us. We have start, test, build, and exec scripts. Let's quickly go through these scripts, beginning with npm start. This will kick off a development server for our app and launch a browser instance to the correct URL. Let's take a look at the code that Create React App generated for us. In the source folder, there are a few files. The index.js file is where our app begins. You can see the React DOM render where it attaches to the root DOM element. The app.js file contains the app React component. You can see the header that contains the image we saw, and also the intro text. When we open the package.json file, you may be shocked at what you see. Where are all the dependencies? How refreshing that there are only 3. React, React DOM, and React Scripts. The React Scripts dependency manages all of the other dependencies such as Babel, Webpack, Jest, linting, etc. You could also see that the npm scripts are just thin proxies to functionality inside of React Scripts. Let's switch gears and run the tests with npm test. Under the covers, React uses the Jest test runner, which is a really nice tool. In our case, there is only one test, but you are encouraged to write your own tests when you start building your app. Now, let's run build script. This will create a production build of your app, and the output results go to the build folder. Once it's done, we could go into the build folder and kick up a simple HTTP server with npx serve. And then we can head over to our browser and take a look at a built version of our React app. Now let's do something fun. Let's install an older version of React Scripts to show the experience of upgrading when there's a newer version. In this case, we'll install version 0.9.0. If we come into VS Code, you'll notice something interesting when you hover over one of your dependencies. VS Code actually shows you what the latest version of that dependency is. If you do use VS Code, you could go one step further and install an extension called Version Lens. Once installed, this extension adds metadata to your package.json dependencies. You'll notice that Version Lens says that we are using the latest versions of React and React DOM, but for React Scripts, on the left, it says based on our version range, it satisfies up to version 0.9.5. However, the latest version is 1.1.0. If we wanted, we could click on one of these links to update the package.json file. Or, if you prefer the command line, there are some techniques we could use there too. First, let's run npm view React Scripts versions. This will list out all the versions that have been published to npm. However, if you just want the latest official release, you could try the same command but remove the S at the end. Another command you could try is npm outdated, which is a native npm command. It'll check the registry for you and see if there are any packages that are currently outdated. In our case, it says React Scripts is out of date. Our version range is requesting 0.9.5, but the latest version is 1.1.0. This is a great command, however, it's read-only. If you want a more interactive update tool, you can try out npm check with the -u flag. This shows that we have one update, and it's a potentially breaking change since it's now 1.1.0. I'll go ahead and press the spacebar to select and enter to install. The last script is the exec script. If the application that was generated by Create React App doesn't quite fit your needs, then you can use the exec script, which will export all of Create React App's dependencies, configurations, and scripts, and inject them into your app. Now this is permanent. There'll no longer be a quick and easy way to upgrade your app if Facebook makes a new version of React Scripts. Now that we know the risks, let's say yes. As I mentioned before, you can see a whole bunch of dependencies, scripts, and configurations were injected into our app. Now we can see some things that we did not see before. There's a config folder that contains stuff for jest, polyfills, and various Webpack configurations. And now we have a scripts folder that contains code for our build, start, and test scripts. And the package.json file is much larger than it used to be. And you'll notice that there are many dependencies that could possibly use updating. The React scripts dependency used to take responsibility of keeping those up to date and compatible, but now that's your responsibility. If we come back over and run npm outdated, you'll see a more concise view of things that may need to be updated. Likewise, you could run npx npm-check-u for an interactive way to update one or more of these dependencies. Thanks for watching this first video in the Create React App series. Stay tuned for more videos to come. If you want to know about future videos, you can subscribe to the channel and click the bell to be notified when new videos are launched. In the meantime, feel free to reach out on Twitter at Elijah Manor. Until then, have a blessed day.